In the year 1841, P.T. Barnum wanted to establish himself as a premier showman in New York, so he decided to buy this museum.
But there was a problem.
The asking price for the museum was $15,000, but the 31-year-old Barnum didn't have any money. Barnum desperately wanted this museum for his show business, so he appealed to the institution's owners with dozens of guarantees and references.
Please, Ted, I need this.
The owners agreed to give the museum to Barnum, but then at the last minute they changed their minds and sold the museum to another person instead. When Barnum became furious, the people at the negotiating table told him that he lost the deal because he had no reputation. Well, that's the point of the story.
I don't trust you.
In my previous video on how to get people to invest in your business idea as a young entrepreneur, I talked about the importance of trust. I use stories, examples, and scientific studies to explain that trust is key to getting other people to support you when you're just starting out in life. But there is a question we're yet to answer, which is, how do you get people to trust, support, and want to make sacrifices for you? Well, that's what this video is all about. In their 2012 study, David Rousseau and his colleagues wrote about 3 things that make other people trust you. First, perceptions of honesty. Second, competence. And third, value similarity. Now, let's explain these, one after the other. Everyone watching this video has a few friends who seem to tell the truth all the time. We can all trust, support, and make sacrifice for such people. But you also have that one friend or family member who never sticks to their words or says the truth. Anytime such people need your support, your response is simple:
I don't trust you.
But it's even worse than that. You see, dishonest people don't just lose the trust and support of their friends and family members. If you're dishonest, even strangers who meet you 5 minutes ago can perceive that something is not right with you.
That's impossible.
Impossible?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Have you ever met someone for the first time, listened to them, and instantly believed that they were lying? Well, it happens to all of us. We meet people and instantly have a feeling that they are dubious, deceptive, or cunning, yet within 3 months down the road, we find out that we're right. Why does this happen? Well, science has some explanation. In his 2002 book, Strangers to Ourselves, a professor at the University of Virginia, Timothy Wilson, wrote that at any given time, our 5 senses are taking in more than 11 million pieces of information, while our conscious mind can only process about 40 pieces of this information. What this means is that when people meet you, they can process millions of information about you within a few seconds. Your body language, your styles, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you give eye contact, your mannerisms, all of these tell people the truth about you, even if you lie.
But somehow my gut tells me it's something else.
See, my gut tells me there's trouble.
In this 2017 Forbes publication, Bruce Kanasoff wrote that intuition or gut feelings could sometimes be smarter than our raw intelligence. Gary Klein, a cognitive psychologist who is an expert on how people arrive at decisions under pressure, calls it naturalistic decision making. Timothy Wilson called it an adaptive unconsciousness. In his 1972 book, What Computers Can't Do, Herbert Dreyfus explained this phenomenon as follows. After a great deal of experience, a player can see a situation as having a certain significance tending towards a certain outcome. In other words, since we all know and deal with honesty and dishonest people all the time, we have stored in our unconscious minds the mannerisms, body language, and styles of honest and dishonest people. So if we meet a stranger who's telling us lies, something in us just knows. Hence we decide not to cooperate with such people. To make other humans trust, support, and make sacrifices for you, you have to live your daily life saying the truth as best as you can. Or at least, don't lie. Dishonesty is like the color of your skin. Don't think you can hide it, because even strangers can see it.
You don't communicate in a false manner, because if you do, you will warp the structure that guides your actions, and you will absolutely 100% suffer for that. I mean, one of the things I've learned as a clinical psychologist is that I've never seen anyone, it's really a terrifying thing, I've never seen anyone get away with anything. You can't get away with a falsehood.
As humans, we find it easy to like and support people who are similar to us. For example, if you're an Indian man who relocates to Canada and you meet another Indian in Canada, even if that Indian is a Muslim while you're a Hindu, both of you instantly become best friends because you're from the same country. And if tomorrow that guy needs some help, you're more likely to help him than to help a white Canadian. In his 1984 book, Influence, Robert Cialdini wrote, "We like people who are similar to us. The fact seems to hold true whether the similarity is in the area of opinions, personality, traits, background, or lifestyle. We like to support people who look like us,
because we're basically the same age,
have similar values as we do, or think like us." Psychologists call this actual similarity. While actual similarity may be constant, there's another form of similarity anyone could use to make others like them. It's called perceived similarity. For example, during the 1789's French Revolution, many people tried to influence public opinion without much success. But Antoine Barnave did it successfully and became very popular. His secret was simple. He spoke the language of ordinary people by stating clearly what they were going through. Clearly stating the pains of ordinary people of France made them feel that Antoine was one of them. Let me tell you how you can use perceived similarity. Let's say you want to seek the support of a particular individual or group.
Listen.
Don't just go to them with your opinion. First, take your time to know who they are, how they dress, and what some of their values are. Now, while pitching your idea, giving a speech, or having a conversation with these people, talk in terms of their interest, not yours. In his 1936 book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie wrote, "The only way on earth to influence other people is to talk about what they want." By having a little research about the people you want to persuade for anything, you can know who they are and what their interests are. By talking about their interests, you show them that you're similar to them. This in turn makes them like you, and since we all love to support the people we like, if you can get anyone to like you, you can get them to support or make sacrifices for you. In Chapter 4 of Influence, Robert Cialdini wrote about authority, how we love to say yes to anyone with some authority.
You are done.
Yes, sir.
Similar to this is what David Russell and his colleagues called competence. We generally believe that people who have expertise in something can be trusted to get a result in that area. For example, if two people come to you with the idea of a medical startup, one of them is an accountant while the other has been a surgeon for 7 years. Who would you give your money to? Obviously, the surgeon. Now, this is how to make other people perceive you as being competent. Let's say you have a business idea that is about building, engineering, and construction. Now, let's assume that you're an accountant and need other people to invest in this startup. The best way to get the support you need is by looking for two experienced building engineers and making them your partners. This way, your potential investors see your startup as being more likely to succeed, hence they're more likely to support you. So, in conclusion, John D. Rockefeller said, "The most important thing for a young man is to establish a credit, a reputation, a character." 3 things that help you establish a reputation are: first, honesty. Tell the truth as much as you can and people will trust and support you. Second, competence. Acquire skills and partner with others who have expertise in what you want to do. And of course, third, show people how much you have in common with them instead of how you're different from them. I sincerely appreciate you for watching our videos.